We have another awesome product sent to us from CVLife to take a look at today. We're talking readily available, high-quality red dots from CVLife's WildHawk series that you can even find on Amazon and will show up at your house extremely fast. This is not the first product I've checked out from them on this channel before, and the reason I said yes is because every single time we've looked at something from CVLife, it has been of the highest quality. The only things that CVLife requested during this showcase is that A, I give you my real and honest opinions, and B, I wait until the end of the video to showcase any replicas. I would assume so that they can use this for promotional purposes if they choose, and that's totally fine. Not to mention, every single time I unbox their products, it's always a pleasurable experience and everything is showcased really nicely. Plus, I have the perfect replica to throw this on. I needed a red dot for this, so we'll check that out afterwards. You can see the first thing you'll find in the box is a multifunctional wrench, which is really cool. I actually really like the design of this thing. It looks super cool. We can go ahead and pop that out. It's in some foam. So we got a flathead, a plus. I'm not sure what that's going to be for. It's not like a Phillips head. I don't know. We got an Allen key and then a T5 bit or star bit. The other wrench for hood removal, so I'd assume this is to get the battery out. We have a small flathead and a larger flathead. Pull this guy out. Manual of arms, which we are not going to check out. I will just explain everything as we go forward. Plus, I can't read. That was a joke. And the red dot. I'll just make it really easy for you. Let's pull everything out. Another thing I really like with CVLife, and I will stop with the general glazing after this, is the fact that they always provide you with everything you need to mount this onto literally anything. Every one of the red dot packages. Usually when you pick up a new red dot or a new optic, you often find that the mounting hardware you have isn't going to fit, or you need a different mounting plate adapter. When I tell you they just load you out, we have the adapter to these flying ants are literally everywhere outside today. I'm assuming they're just spawning and breeding. They're on my arm and stop! Oh my God. I gotta get out of the area. Sorry, now that we've been absolutely bombarded by flying ants, they're still kind of like all over me, but that's okay. You get two multi-tools in the box. You get an RMR mounting plate. This one is good for Glock MOS RMR. You get a small little spacer, the red dot, and the red dot cover. It's a silicone cover, and we'll take a deeper look at the red dot. Oh, I like the profile of that. We'll take a deeper look at that in a second. You have your adapter for your Picatinny rails, which we are going to need actually. Two batteries, and then an absolute slew of screws. When I tell you, like, for literally any mounting options, and they all come with Loctite blue on it, like, it's absolutely ridiculous. CVLife they just hook it up. Now, just a closer look at the new red dot. It is really, really small and light, and it's a very low profile, which is super nice. You could see, we'll take a look at, like, the setting of the glass, and if there's any, like, glue spillover or anything, and it looks to be extremely cleanly set. A little bit of glue spill over here. You got a clear glass on the back, and then on the front you almost have like this sun-colored glass. It's like got like a red or sunset tone to it, which is really nice. It's a very simple mount with just two screw ports here, and we'll show you that in a second. It looks like we have our elevation adjustment knob and our windage adjustment knob, and I just want to take a look if that is just tension fit or if those click. Now, is it this one? Probably this one. Oh, those do click into place. That's huge. Okay, so those click, which is really nice. It's going to not only increase the textural feel of when you lock in your reticle and you adjust it, but it should also mean that it will hold to zero and just a little bit better. It doesn't always mean 100%, but I haven't had a problem with CVLife in the past. And then it looks like we have our power buttons. This one should decrease our brightness, and this one should increase our brightness. And then I'll also show you can adjust the reticle on here. I think it comes with 3 different reticles. I'm pretty sure this one's red too. Also, figured out what this little plus tool is for. We're just going to drop this in, and we're going to unscrew our battery compartment. Just like that. Another thing that I'm already noticing straight out of the box is the battery compartment comes lined with a very small O-ring. That little O-ring is actually going to help a lot to keep moisture out of the battery compartment, so obviously there's no rusting or short-circuiting or anything like that. Plus, it keeps some backwards tension on the battery cap so that when it is screwed on, it won't start to back off on its own with all the recoil. Pop the battery out, and then it should go in, I want to say this direction. Think like that. And then we'll close this guy up. Just like that. Helps to like kind of back thread it a little bit just to make sure that it's nice and flat. A little bit shallow of a surface to keep that plus symbol in. To keep the tool engaged. That's not a big deal. Just be careful, don't over tighten it. Something interesting with the profile of this red dot is this curvature on the top. It depends how strong it is and obviously the profile of the glass, but a lot of the time if you notice like the curvature on the top of the glass, it doesn't do as well drop resistance wise. Like if you were to drop a rifle or drop a replica on top of it down like this, all of that pressure is going to push straight down from the top into the glass. A lot of the times the optics with the risen corners higher and like a divot in place help to push pressure down on these bars down into the optic, and it's less likely to crack your glass. I'm not saying that the glass is going to crack here, it's just a design thing that I noticed. Another thing that's really cool though, I don't know if it's going to matter at all, but due to sun, it's almost got like this visor on the top of it, so it should reduce any glare that you get from sun on the red dot. Now, you won't be able to see it, but if I use this like grainy filter, it's the best way for me to be able to see the red dot. So it might look a little distorted here. However, just to the eye, I can see that the red dot or the reticle is super clear. You can see right now we're working with like a target plus a little dot in the center. And I believe if we hold the power button for 3 seconds, am I even touching the power button? There we go. Nice click to that. It'll just switch, it'll get that little dot out of the center, and it creates just like a halo, plus like small dashes on the outsides on the 12, 3, 6, and 9 o'clock positions. And then if we press it again, hold for 3 seconds, it should switch off to just a standard red dot. For someone like myself, I actually prefer this guy. The more reticle, the better, just because I'm colorblind. So sometimes with like the background being like green or the background being like reds and oranges, depending on the fall or during the summer, the spring, it's harder for me to see smaller reticles. So a larger reticle, it's much easier to differ between the reticle and the background. So I'm going to keep it like this. Now, I already know I'm throwing this on a 45-degree mounting plate. So simple, I'm just going to get it onto the Picatinny rail. And you can see it's got stabilizers pins on all 4 corners. So it helps to really stabilize the red dot. And then we'll hold it down via just a setting of screws. We just got to figure out which one of the screws we need. Are they labeled? Okay, they're all labeled, but not labeled for like the plate. All right, I'm gonna diddle with these for a second. All right, so after diddling around a little bit, it looks like the 11mm 6 to 32 screws are gonna be the ones that we want. So we'll just pull 2 out. They include 3 in case you ever have a problem or lose one of every single screw, which is really nice. And another thing that I noticed, just a huge plus from CVLife, is the insert to all of your threads are tapped with a steel insert. So now when you're screwing in, it's the same with the RMR plate. When you're screwing these guys in, you're not risking over threading or destroying the threads of something that's like a aluminum plate. You're screwing into steel now, which is huge. So let's get this guy on top. Make sure the screw holes match. And always try and use, if possible, any of the hardware as well as the tools that come with your RMR mounts or your plates or anything that you get, just because definitely not going to wind up misthreading them or stripping them or anything like that. Plus, every single one of these screws are the T5 bit or star bit, and those, from my opinion, are one of the hardest to strip just because of all of the contact points that you're going to be making with the tool. So, huge plus. Awesome. Oh, I didn't even notice that. Look at that. So, your mounting plate is held on to your rail by a single screw, and it's also spring tensioned. So, it's just an added plus, dude. Now is the time we've all been waiting for. It's time to mount it on the replica, and we'll be throwing it on the G&G lever as a canted 45-degree red dot to go alongside my longer LPVO, so I have a little bit of option between short range and long range. we'll just go ahead and throw it onto this rail. As simple as just loosening another one of these little star bits. Just pop it out quite a ways. That might be enough. It is enough. I want to try and get this pretty close to center. I think that's going to be the spot to have it. Keep loosening, and then we'll tighten it up. Dun, 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 dun. There we go. Nice and snug. Want that pretty tight, and that ain't going anywhere now. Now what we got to do is zero this guy in. And keep in mind that when you do that, you're going to want to keep this almost as far away from any target you'll be engaging with as possible to increase the likelihood that you stay on target. So we'll adjust it in a second. I'm just going to take my first shot downrange. Oh, there we go. Okay. We could probably afford to move the round or the BB up a bit and to the right. So we'll do that. Up is to the left. Go 3 clicks, and then to the right should be, we'll go 2 clicks. And we'll see about that. And we'll go up one more. Let's try that. That 45 degrees is tough because the hop was pulling it to the left. We're going to be limited on range, but that's kind of the idea. It's for really close range engagements. But around like 50 feet out, maybe a little further, like 60 feet, you could totally work with that. Cool. Awesome. We're zeroed in. Still around a bit, close range. And again, I'm kind of like limited for what I have for space to see the reticle just because of the mount that I have on here. But we should be all right. Here we go. No? There we go. That thing rips. I mean, when it comes to affordability and bang for your buck, CVLife just, they give you so much. The mounting hardware, the mounts, the red dot, the covers, the batteries, the unboxing experience. It's just always a pleasure. I appreciate you guys sending it out again. You want all the mounting options and all the hardware. CVLife is a great company to work with. They have so many different variants of red dots and optics, and they just care. And they just listen to the community. Well done, guys. I will catch you on the next adventure. Until next time, peace.